In 2021, whenever Valtteri Bottas had a poor qualifying session or was forced to start lower due to grid penalties, he would often get stuck behind other cars. This especially hurt Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton in the season finale, as Bottas was stuck in the midfield, restricting the strategic options available to his team. Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko, while speaking to Autorevue, has now given his thoughts on this. I'm your host, Dillon Shelley, and first up on Formula World, Helmut Marko calls Valtteri Bottas a loser. Marko began by speaking about the pecking order in 2022. I think the balance of power will remain the same. Maybe Ferrari will take another step and win one or two races. He then praised his driver Sergio Perez despite his shortcomings in qualifying. He has made himself legendary in the fight against Lewis Hamilton. For us, it is clear that he is currently not a driver who can match Verstappen in qualifying, but then you need someone who is not broken by that. He then compared Perez to Bottas. That is the big difference between Perez and Bottas, who is a loser when it comes to overtaking. He's super fast, but he can't overtake in traffic. Bottas managed to finish third in the championship, while Perez had to settle for fourth, which ultimately proved decisive in the Constructors' Championship. Marko addressed this next. If you start 9th or 11th, all the qualities Perez undoubtedly has in the race won't help you. He's driven at the same level as Verstappen in a number of races, but it just fizzles out by the time you're through the field. He signed off by reiterating that Perez does not buckle under pressure. We needed someone who won't break under pressure, and that has happened with Perez. Fast feed. Williams driver Alex Albon has revealed that the bond between Red Bull's Max Verstappen and his race engineer Gianpiero Lambiase is impressive. Max and Gianpiero rarely talk about details because they understand each other so well. During a race weekend, it is not necessary for them to talk for hours about setups of the car. Sometimes they even have the car in order after 10 or 15 minutes. F1 CEO Stefano Domenicali stated that in 2021 the interest was huge thanks to Max and Lewis, but I also hope that the other drivers can get involved in the fight for the title. We have so many young and talented drivers at the moment, an extremely strong field. So the focus right now is whether the new cars will enable more drivers to fight for victories and the title. Retired F1 driver Felipe Massa has suggested that Ferrari's best years were with Michael Schumacher, then 2006, 2007 and 2008. After 2009, Ferrari was no longer the team of the hour. There have been many changes and it is important to keep a cool head. That is difficult at Ferrari. Ferrari's problem is not a driver problem, it's a car problem, a team problem. Sainz and Leclerc form a very important driver pairing. Alpine's Fernando Alonso has explained that the new regulations were too restricted at the beginning. So, there were a lot of clarifications of what we can do and what we couldn't do with the FIA. It was a strange new project for everybody. Retired F1 driver Mark Webber feels that there has to be a way to get the best drivers onto the F1 grid. People want to see the best of the best. Sport needs protagonists like the Lando Norrises, the George Russells, the Max Verstappens, the Charles Leclercs, and even the old Lewis Hamiltons or Fernando Alonsos. This is so important for motorsport. Will Ferrari ever reach its former glory? Head over to my community page to vote in the poll and let me know what you think in the comments. And if you liked this video, feel free to subscribe and check out my others for all the latest in the world of Formula 1.